Hello, this is Gilgamesh. I want to talk about this movie, the 1989 Batman by Tim Burton, starring Jack Nicholson as the Joker and Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne / Batman, and you have Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. You have probably one of the best cast in, and as far as Billy D. Williams playing Harvey Dent, well, that was the studios doing, not really Tim Burton, but Tim Burton got Prince to do the soundtrack for this movie. Yep, and it's one of the best soundtracks ever. And Danny Elfman did the score for this movie, and you can tell they used this for the Batman animated series, which I think he also scored. But this is basically, yeah. And then you have Batman Returns, the better movie. I mean, this movie, take nothing away. This is the definitive Joker. This is Joker as a criminal. He was and it showed basically from the comic how he became the Joker. And exactly like in the comic, when he falls in a vat of chemicals at a factory, he comes out and the doctor, he takes off the bandage, he sees that his hair is green, his skin is white, and his lips are red, and he laughs hysterically at it. Yeah. And you have such a great cast in this movie of actors who, like Michael Gow, who played Alfred, and you even had Jerry Hall in this playing the Joker's girlfriend. And the face appliance they use for Jack when he becomes a Joker, I swear to God, when he smiles, it looks like Whoopi Goldberg's smile. Go look at her, and when she smiles, it looks like that's what they did to create that smile. But pretty much, this is I call it the definitive Joker, because when you hear Jack Nicholson laugh at the Joker, you realize where Mark Hamill got from and Heath Ledger. And I think Heath Ledger said that Jack was really inspired his performance as the Joker. And this movie just holds up. And yes, Billy D. Williams is playing, he's cast as Harvey Dent, but he really just plays himself. And the reason for that was he was a big star from the two Star Wars, Empire, Return of the Jedi, so they wanted him in the movie. And he does, I'm not happy, I wouldn't have said no, but I understand why they did this, because he's the guy. He's from the Star Wars films. They wanted a major star besides Jack Nicholson, because they weren't sure about Michael Keaton if he could carry the role as Batman, but he does. Jack Palance is in this, and basically, you see where in this the Joker's one that killed Bruce Wayne's parents and turned him, and then he turned him into the Joker. So it's kind of like, they take the idea of that was some criminal that shot and killed Bruce Wayne's parents that made him turn him eventually into Batman. Here he's already Batman, and the cops don't trust him. They think he's a criminal, and he is a vigilante. He is actually a criminal. Let's not kid ourselves. And then, Kim Basinger, this is like when she was younger in her career. As Vicky Vale, she's great. Robert, and here's the thing, where the Joker comes from is the shadow. Because Bob Kane, who created the Batman comic, he took a shadow comic and literally on the shadow drew ears and turned him into Batman and took everyone in the shadow's nemesis villains and made them Batman's villains. So that's why Batman had guns in the beginning, and where he gets the I am the vengeance, I am the night. That's what the shadow says. And as a vigilante, you seek to give retribution to people. So they had to stop Batman from killing people, because when you're shooting people, you are natural murder. So they had to change it to him helping the cops to arrest him, put him in Arkham Asylum and everything. But be assured, he was originally killing people. So, and he's only human. I mean, when you say you're a vigilante, your job, is to break the law, to give out retribution to those who have done someone wrong. With the shadow, if he saved you, you worked for him until you paid off your debt, and then you were free. And he said, I am the night, I am the vengeance. he scared the hell out of criminals. And basically, if you look at Batman's origin, follows the shadows. Bruce Wayne gets trained by Ra's al Ghul, who's an Arab, and I forget who the Shadow trains with. The guy who's becomes the Shadow, but they both go through the same thing, and it deals with using, you know, deception and everything, and to take out the bad guys. But here, this is a very dark movie that Warner Brothers did not like. It got a lot darker in Batman Returns, but this was very dark for the time. I mean, they had a Joker, Jack Nicholson, so perfectly cast as Jack. I think it was Jack Vance, and that he became, really, when you think about it, the only Joker most people think of is Cesar Romero before Jack Nicholson. He did such a great job, it would influence the Joker for the Batman animated series. This movie actually really does directly play into the Batman animated series, because the way Michael Keaton played the Joker really played in the way that they did him for the animated series, and the voice work and everything, and yeah. And so these two actors, Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, inspired the character for the Batman and for their characters. And really, if you look at the way Mark Hamill laughs, is exactly the way Jack Nicholson did as the Joker. And he played him the two sides, wanting to play a prank on you at the same time wanting to murder you. And the gas and everything that's his laughing gas to dry, and it worked. And they show that in the movie that he, and he'll cover up his face and make himself look like a regular person. That's him covering the fact that, he's got bleached fucking skin and red lips. So yeah. And this movie holds up. I mean, the end of the movie where, if you've seen it, the ending where Bruce Wayne and Batman ends up sending the Joker to his death you can tell, though, that part of the movie doesn't hold up because of the time when this movie was made in 88, that they didn't have exactly the technology to make that look believable. It's the same thing when you watch Psycho, the original Psycho. You can tell that he's not falling down the stairs. But yeah, the cast in this movie is fantastic. And the fact that you've got Michael Keaton, born Michael Douglas, by the way. Yep. You got Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger, Jack Palance, and then you have Robert Wall, and you have Pat Hingle, Billy D. Williams, Michael Gow, Jerry Hall. I don't know how many movies she's ever done, but you look at the cast and it's like, yeah, you got this cast right here, and Tracy Walters, he's creating the movie, and yeah, and Prince's soundtrack is so good. It works in the movie very well. And of course, Danny Elfman's score would go on for the Batman animated series. In this movie, it didn't hide how dark Tim Burton wanted the movie to be. He didn't want a bright, shiny movie. He wanted this movie to be dark, like the way the comics are. The sense of everything's so bad that you have to have a guy dressed as a fucking bat. To stop crime. So yeah, Batman '89 is probably one of the greatest comic book movies, and its sequel is better than the first. I will eventually cover that, but yeah. And so yeah, you have these two movies, Batman Returns, and then you go Batman Returns, Batman '89, then you say Batman Forever. And, then of course you have the Batman and Robin, which was not Joel Schumacher's fault, but yeah, this movie holds up over time for how great the storytelling was and how well the score and everything played in, and everybody that worked in this movie did a great job. It's over 2 hours and I think 6 minutes, something like that, but it doesn't feel like that long a movie because it runs so well. So if you want to see, it's on, you can go watch it if you have Max, you can watch it there with all the Batman films, because they're all owned by Warner Brothers, soon to be owned by Paramount. So, yeah. So I just wanted to do this review because I saw it in theaters. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw it. And it was playing in one theater. I had to go long to another city to see it because of it was only playing there, but it was worth it. So I enjoyed it, and I could see this again. So this is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.